Well, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with the missionary story today. It's called John Peyton, and it starts off with John's father, Frank. He's really mad. Gertrude! Why do we have all these babies? I hate babies, Gertrude! This one isn't even ours! Who is it? Frank, we don't have a TV in our room, that's why we have all these babies. Well, Gertrude, we need diapers. John's 12 and he still's wearing diapers. Well, Frank, get him Depends, you know, he don't need baby diapers. So, Frank, John's father, he goes to Walmart. And, he's looking down the diaper aisle and he doesn't see any Depends. So he gets Snuggies. And meanwhile, John's uncle and Tim, his name's Tim, they're at the home praying that Frank will bring the right diapers. Well, unbeknownst to Frank, their creeper neighbor has heard about their diaper problem. So he creeps in the door while they're all praying, knee bent and body bowed before the throne of grace. And he drops off the diapers. Well, John, he wears diapers until he's 15 years old. And once he gets his first job, his boss noticed that he scratches a lot. And so his boss calls him into the office and says, John, I noticed you scratch a lot. And John says, I have a condition. Well, John's boss says, do explain this condition. And what happens next, CC?
Well, you see, once John starts explaining what happens, he decides it's best if he sends him to a new location, maybe outside. It's a little safer from indoors. So he says, you get to work in the field. You see, this is my brother, Jake. And Jake's a big fan of purple, so he's not really going to like your blue shirt here. But that's all right. If you work and you contain yourself on the outside, then maybe one day I'll buy you a purple jacket. And so John works and he works, and pretty soon he's got the purple jacket. And he says, you know, it's time for me to move up in the world. He says, what you gonna do? I think I'm gonna be a traveling salesman. So he says, how hard can that be, you know? Just go around, you get a slick suit, purple's good, and you start offering them, you know, how-to kits, how to build your own car, how to fix your own car, everything about cars. So, pretty soon, he goes around, but his last gift he gets, his father says, last thing you need is a cane, because everyone is more convinced by someone that's got a cane. I mean, if you've got a disability, everyone's gonna buy from you. So that's your key to success right there. So, here's your cane, and I wish you best of luck. And then what happens, Bobby?
Well, he started on his first little job with the little cane, so he comes up to the door with his cane, and he knocks. And the person comes out, and they're like, excuse me, sir? And he looks at him, he's like, sir, can you please buy, I have some how-to kits. And, we'll see, the guy was like, get off my lawn! I'm not buying nothing from you! And so, John, he didn't have any luck, actually he didn't have any at all. And, well, he did what most people do when they can't find a better job. He started teaching school. He got hired at the nearest public school, and so the kids weren't the nicest kids, no offense public schoolers, but the kids weren't that nice. So one time he was in there and he was just trying to teach them about math. and they're like 6th graders, and it's a public school, so he's like, 1 + 1 equals. And so 2 of the guys just stood up, and they're like, I'm tired of this. Please stop. I am tired of this. And he's like, well, at least you said please that time. You're getting better mannered. And he was like, no, we're done. We're leaving. We're out. And he was like, no, you don't disrespect me. And they're like, respect? I'm not going to respect you. Why would I respect you? So then John came up with a brilliant idea. Okay, so what he did was he made them come to the front of the class. And he said, okay, now, right now, before I spank you, I might spank you, but I might not if you tell all the class this one word I'm going to tell you. I'm making it up, and it might be embarrassing, it might not be. We'll see. So they were like, wait to hear the word, and then finally, John turned to him and he said, zonk. They said, what? He said, zonk. You have to say zonk. And so they turned and they were like, zonk. And he's like, no, say it louder. Zonk. Say it louder. Zonk. Zonk. Okay, zonk. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So John, he started feeling good about himself because he started bullying around kids and stuff. So he wanted to get himself a girlfriend. So he thought he was ready, because then he could have kids, and if the kids stepped out of line, he would know what to do, you know? So he had one picked out, and she was a really good-looking one. And her name was Sally Sue. Yes, Sally Sue, okay? But the only problem was, she was in a relationship with a really nice guy. And so what he would do is he would just watch their dates, and the whole time he would just be mad at himself. And he would just, every time they would walk by, and they didn't even notice they were walking by the same guy like over and over again. Because he would just be like, and then the next time he would stand like in a telephone booth or whatever, and they were just walking on the same stroll. He would just like go around the alleys, go around, and then come back and be at the next place. And he just watched, and he's like, I wonder if it's serious or not. And he ended up finding out that it was not very serious, but it's kind of, it's complicated, you know? But he doesn't really know if they're going to take the next step. So he wants to step in before they have a chance, you know? So one time he was just like, Sally Sue, would you marry me? And she turned to him and she was like, who are you? Okay, what do you think was going to happen next? Anyone know? You think she's going to be like, well, I mean, I guess you're good looking, even though I don't know you, we can get to know each other, you know? So, you think that's going to happen? Or maybe you think she's just going to be like, get off my lawn again. He's got to go back to teaching, actually, or whatever. So, what do y'all think's going to happen?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn?
Yeah.
Call me maybe. Call me maybe.
You'll have to find